This is a Bailey Olympus 462. Just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van, you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker, you have your gas regulator with the gas pipe work coming to the bottle. The pipe work that goes into the front of the bottle is a reverse thread fitment, so it needs to be turned the opposite way to a standard thread, for instance, to release it from the bottle. You've then got your two gas bottle tie downs. Two gas bottle tie downs can carry a maximum of two 6 kilogram propane gas bottles in these places. Going down the side of the van, you've got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan for on site. You would never lift the caravan with these legs, it could potentially damage the floor of the van. So when you put them down to the ground, you just literally touch them on the ground rather than lift it. In the locker you see just here, it's not open at the moment, but there's actually a water storage container in here, which is for your onboard water tank. You have to manually fill this to fill the water system up, and I'll show you how it operates once we go inside the van. Going further down the side of the van, you've got your heating and hot water flue. So you need to remove this prior to igniting anything on gas inside of the caravan. Would recommend you just get in the habit of removing it, even if you're not going to be on gas. You then got your water pump connection, which pushes into the side of the van and pulls out, as you can see here. The cap pops down and locks itself in place. Locks the pump in place, sorry. And then you've got your pickup pipe that drops down inside the act roll, and it needs to be fully submerged in the water prior to turning the water pump on. The wheel nuts, we'll torque the wheel nuts before you take the caravan away, so you can see they've been tightened correctly. Above that, you've got the two fridge vents. You'll notice they've got covers on them at the moment, but you pop these covers off, and behind them you'll see the vents for the fridge. You do need to make sure they're off before you start operating the fridge. Then on this top cover here, on the right hand side, you'll actually find there's a gas flue behind there for when the fridge is running on gas, and the bottom one is just a vent for the hot air to come out of, essentially. You've then got your two grey waste pipes coming out the side of the van. Two grey waste pipes are very simply there to allow the fresh water that's gone through the sinks and the shower to come back out of the van, and they come out through the side here. You'll have two bits of pipe that go into the larger diameter holes, and they'll drop down inside the waste master. You've then got your toilet flush tank. You'll open this up and you put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. In the bottom, you've got your toilet waste cassette. You pull up the orange handle and pull the cassette towards you. So you pull the cassette towards you. On the front of it, you'll have a neck that turns out 90 degrees, so you can tip the waste away. The orange cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. And on the back of the cassette, you'll see an orange pressure relief button, so when you press that button in, you can tip the waste away without it spitting and splattering back at you. In the cassette, you'll need to put 1 litre of water and a capful of the blue fluid prior to use. On the back of the van on either side, you'll see the two wind down legs again to stabilise the van, just here, underneath. And again, they are just there for stabilising rather than lifting the van. On the door side, you've got your battery locker with your mains power lead coming into the side of the van, and then you've got a storage locker on the front left hand side. Going on to the inside of the caravan now. As you come in the door, on the left hand side, you've got your master power switch. You've got your interior lights for the caravan. You've got your awning light for the outside of the van, and you've got your water pump run. And at the top, you've got your voltmeter for your 12-volt battery on board the caravan. Water pump I'm going to leave turned off for a minute, and I'll show you how to fill that in a second. Underneath the seat on the front left-hand side, as you come towards the front of the caravan, you've got your 12-volt fuses on the left-hand side here, and then you've got your 240 trip switches. All these need to be in the upright position for the power on board the caravan to work. And then you've got your test switch here. When if you hit this test switch in, and this power switch drops down, it means that you have power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you are on. So to fill the water system up, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to come over to every tap on board the caravan and open all up on the hot side of the water system. Now I've already filled the water system on this particular van, but once you've done that, you're going to come underneath the seat on the right hand side of the caravan, and underneath the seat you'll find a yellow drain down valve. That yellow drain down valve is so you can fill and drain the water system down. You'll need to have it flat with the floor to allow you to fill the water system up. If you're running from the aqua roll on the outside of the caravan, you need to make sure this blue valve is pointing to the outside of the caravan, towards the wall. And then if you want to run from the onboard water storage tank that you see down the front there, you're going to need to turn that valve around 180 degrees, so it's pointing to the inside of the caravan. But once you've got that yellow valve flat with the floor, you're then going to come over to the control panel by the door and turn on the water pump. Once the water system is completely full, you'll have water running out of the taps continuously on board the caravan. And once you're at this stage, you can shut all of the taps back off because that is the water system filled. Once the water system is filled, you can start warming the water on board the van. That's where the switch here on the wall comes on, just to the left of the sink. That is your 230 volt electric water heater. It is a preset temperature on the electric water heating, so you cannot control the temperature of the water like you can on gas. Above that, you have your gas control for your water heating. Now, there's no gas bottle on the van at the moment, but you spin this outer grey dial around to the flame symbol, you get a green light appear. That is essentially your pilot light. If it fails to ignite on gas, you'll get a red light appear in the back of there also. Now on gas, you can control the water, there's your red light that's just appeared, but you can control the water temperature between 30 and 70 degrees. And you do also need to use the gas to boost the water system while you're showering on board the van. And you turn this right round to the 70 degrees, and then you use your combination to mixer taps to control the water temperature. To isolate the gas that's applied to the water heater, you spin the dial back to the off position, and it will turn the gas water heater back off. On the opposite side of the caravan, you have your controls for your electric heating that comes out this heater down here. So you need to have the power switch on just here. It puts power to the control up the top. Down the side, you've got 500, 1000 or 2000 watts. Depending on what caravan site you're on, will depend on what you set this to. So 500 watts, you'll spin the dial round to the 500 watts, and then you'll be able to control the temperature of the heater on the dial in the centre here. Now, if you're not sure what to set this power supply to, you'd set the power supply to what they advise on the caravan site you're on. So you'd ask the site office when you arrive on your holiday, and they'd be able to advise you. Obviously, the higher you go with these numbers, the hotter the heating will be. So that's your electric heating up on the wall. On top of the heater itself, you've got your option for your gas heating. So you spin this this gas dial round on the left-hand side top of the heater, hold down the gas valve and hit the igniter at the same time. Once it's ignited on gas, you'll see that you've got a pilot light in this window down the front, and that essentially means the heater is ignited on gas. Once it has ignited, you'll need to continue to hold down the gas valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the valve, and you'll be able to control the temperature of the heater on the dial on top. Spin it round to the off position here to isolate the gas supply. Now on this caravan, you have blown air heating, so you'll see these little white vents around the caravan. And then you've got this dial on the top right hand side of the heater. The dot here indicates the heat is going to come out the front of the heater. You've then got continuous blown air when you put it onto the wave symbol on the left hand side here, and that essentially means the heat is going to come out the vents around the caravan, or if you haven't got the heating on, it acts as a cool air fan. Then on the right hand side here you have the A, which is automatic blown air. Essentially this means it's going to cut in and out with the thermostat on board the caravan as it is needed and as it is not needed. Next up, we're going to go to the fridge. The fridge, again, is very simple to use. You spin the dial around to the flame symbol if you want to use it on gas. You'll press in the temperature control on the right hand side and hit the igniter at the same time. When the fridge has ignited on gas, you'll have this little red line in this little window here that will come up into the green, and once it's in the green it means it has ignited on gas, but you'll need to continue holding the gas valve, a bit like the heater, for around 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the valve. If it fails to ignite, try to reignite it again, and also just make sure your gas is turned on. 240 fridge, so when you're on mains power, you can then control the temperature on the dial on the right hand side. You can also control the temperature of the fridge on gas on this dial on the right hand side also. You've then got your 12 volt mode. The 12 volt mode is essentially for when you are towing down the road, and it will depend on whether it works to whether you have the right connection on your car or not. If you don't have the right connection on your car, then it will not operate as a 12 volt fridge. However, all you need to do is plug the caravan into the car, come inside, spin it around to the 12 volt mode here, have the main control panel up here turned off, and then the fridge will start cooling down as you travel. Hob, grill and oven all work very much like your household appliances, and that is the same for the microwave. However, we do remember to remove your microwave plate whilst travelling. Going into the bathroom now, have an electric flush on the toilet here on top, which works when you press the button in. You have a red indicator light to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette from the side of the caravan, you need to make sure the toilet seat is in the straight on position. Below the toilet, you'll find your waste handle to allow the waste into the cassette. So you'll push it into the open position so the waste goes into the toilet cassette, and you can have it in the closed position when you're not using the toilet. It will also allow you to remove the toilet waste cassette from underneath the caravan when it is in the closed position. So that's the Bailey Olympus 462. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon. Thanks again. Bye bye.